guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident Podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. And we are excited to have our co-host, Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast, who is from the Republic of Kenya in East Africa. He has garnered 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APVA. And in addition to this recognition, he was nominated for Best Blog by the Texas Creator Awards. And he has also been a presenter at the 2023 Afros and Audio Podcast Festival and for 2024. And he recently participated at the 2025 Podfest. Welcome, Sambaza.
Hey, welcome, and thank you. Why am I welcoming you?
For sure.
Yeah. How's everything? How's your week been?
It's going okay. Very busy. I mentioned the dog last time. She had to have surgery, but she's recovering and healing. So, sending healing energy to the doggy.
Oh, okay, I'm glad to hear that the dog is doing okay, and I'm wishing speedy recovery. I'm sure there's a lot to be taken care of. For a dog, it's another part of the family.
It is, and I'll have to I'm do some research on. You mentioned last time maybe we can incorporate some type of animal, maybe something about conditions and causes, and I'll work on that. So more to come.
We were supposed to, if I remember well, we were supposed to talk about. We were talking about getting somebody from the store, like where you buy the food store. I don't know, it's PetSmart or Pet Store or somebody, your local pet store, and kind of have them come and talk about the various foods that they sell for the dogs, what's in the market and stuff like that. Dogs and cats, something that would make us kind of throw a different let's say, pun intended, throw a different bone in the conversation that we have.
Okay, so I did hear you say that, but I was thinking deeper. I'm always like, let's go deeper, let's go deeper. So, I have an idea, but I feel like we should dig a little deeper in that. There's so many causes and animal suffering and things like that. So I feel like I may go to the left with that, but it will definitely be related to animals and maybe overpopulation. There's so many things in addition to the harmful foods. So I'm working on it. Let me cook on that.
Oh, so you got a vet that you want to bring in, or dog nutrition?
But not just somebody from PetSmart. They, wouldn't necessarily be aware of the issues going on with overpopulation of dogs. It's a lot of people that think breeding dogs is the way, and really it's not. It's not good for the population of dogs. There's a lot of dogs suffering and being abandoned and hurt, and in addition to not eating the right food. So I'm kind of want to dig deeper in that, and I was like, how can this be woke? So let me cook on that.
Let me tell you, I got woke. Different story here. Back in the day, before I met my wife, I'm going to throw this in. So I was supposed to go on a date with. It was an online date with a veterinarian. Yeah. So I think I was leaving work, and then I told her. I said, "Hey, do you want to meet up?" I said, "Yeah." Then I happened to tell her, "What's in it for me?" And she flipped. She was like, "What do you mean? What's in it for you? You just show up." And she typed it in. I was like, "Oops, I am so sorry. I apologize." That date never materialized, and that was the end of it. I never got to meet her, ever.
Okay.
Okay.
What about those affirmations, Sambaza?
Yes, I think I need an affirmation for that.
Yeah.
It's coming in handy right now. So the affirmation for the day is, I am worthy of love, just being who I am. Right?
Okay. We receive that. The community receives that. All right.
Okay, it says, I'm worthy of love for just being who I am. I was just being who I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
All
if
right.
that is the story that you're sticking to, shout out to Brother Ed.
Oh yeah, hey Ed, what's up? Peace and stay woke, family. Yep, we're gonna be staying woke. And thank you for showing up. We do appreciate you all the time, and all you people who are gonna be coming in to listen. If you're listening to this show, join us. If it's the first time, you join us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If we change, we will let you know. But this is our standard time here, and we'd love to have you. You know, you could be doing something else, but you're here watching or listening to this particular show. We thank you. And yeah, I think it's my turn now, right?
Well, I just want to frame that. Yes, and again, we thank you guys for tuning in to the content of this episode. We will do not have a guest. It'll just be Sambaza and I getting into some current events. And yeah, so please stay with us and like and subscribe if you've made it this far. And Sambaza will share a proverb and some additional information.
You know, it's only 6 minutes in. If they've made it this far, well, they've done a good job.
You know what?
All right. So I traveled all around Africa. I think I like this one because I did. Remember, I was doing that podcasting challenge.
Yes.
So I found the country of Namibia. I happened to land in Namibia. So Namibia is a country somewhere down in the south of almost close to South Africa. Actually, it's right next to South Africa. Very interesting history they have over there. If you really want to go look into, go check it out. But I'll give you a few facts so that you at least know what to go about when you go there. I think one of these fine days you probably might want to go over there. It's really great. Um, Namibia has the Namib Desert, which is believed to be the one of the oldest deserts in the world, dating back to about 18 million years ago, approximately there. Then Namibia is one of the least densely populated countries in the world. I think the other problem was that all the men used to go fighting and they were killed. So there's more population of women than the men over there. Another thing, Namibia is home to some of the world's tallest sand dunes, with dunes in the Sosusveli salt pan reaching to heights over 656 feet. That's really tall. Then there's the Fish River Canyon, which, guess what, is the second largest canyon in the world after the Grand Canyon in the United States of America. All right, remember that, guys. And then Namibia has the largest population of free roaming cheetahs in the world. So around 3,000 or so free roaming cheetahs can be found in this country. That's a whole lot of cheetahs. And those are those fast running ones that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they can pick up speed within 9 seconds. They can pick up speeds up to 100 miles an hour. That's, well, they had to tell you about that after. Oh, Brother Ed has a question. Oh, by the way, he says sending healing energy to your dog, Jen, to ISIS. And how many countries are there in Africa? I just found out 46.
You said 46?
46.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't do that thing for 31 days. If one country at a time, it'll take me like 2 months plus.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's
So,
some overlap in that, right?
right, some overlap and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, on our proverb today, it says, "A man who has once tossed a buffalo, or who has been tossed by a buffalo, when he sees a black ox, he thinks it's another buffalo." I'll repeat again. A man who has once been tossed by a buffalo, when he sees a black ox, thinks it's another buffalo.
Hmm. Okay, I had to think about that one.
Right.
So I feel like so he was tossed by the buffalo. So he's gonna have his guard up, right? And he'll be a little more you're not gonna catch me a second time, right? What George Bush say? Fool me once. But you're not gonna be a third,
Once
So yeah.
bitten, twice shy. And I think it's like when you see when you've been on when you've seen a red flag populate to something, right? The first initial thing is you experience. When you experience something, like say for example in life, if you walked past a pothole in one spot with your car, right? And then you notice there's some features on that pothole that look like some the same. And then you say, for example, your car went through that and you punctured your tire. The next time
Right.
you see another pothole that shows the same characteristics, you definitely going to move away from it, even though it may not be a pothole. But just because it shows the same
True.
characteristics, you're gonna be looking at it with more caution. So I think that's a problem. Feels nice.
Okay.
We can be it can be applied everywhere in the world, and I'm like the fact that we throw in one there and then you bring in the American version. I think Brother Ed said there are 54 countries in
Yeah,
Africa.
saw something online, and then I saw something said between 47 and 55. So I guess depending on the source.
We'll confirm that. I'll confirm that.
Okay.
Yep. Now, our main topic of the day: politics.
Yeah.
Well, these are more like policies. Today, well, on April 2nd, that was on the day of, which happened to be my sister's birthday. She's in April 2nd. So happy birthday to Lorraine.
Yes.
And so on that day, it's called Liberation Day due to our President Donald Trump, who was unveiling a new set of tariffs, right?
Hmm.
Now, he was going to impose at least 10% on all foreign goods coming into the country. For products from China, the tariff rate was going to be 34%. For those made in Vietnam, would get like 46%, and the European Union will be 20%. Quite interesting, they left out Mexico and Canada after going through all that. So Trump characterized these tariffs as reciprocal, meaning that they correspond to the trade restrictions that each foreign nation enforces onto the U.S. products. Now, on April 3rd, he was going to propose this 25% tariff on all cars that are manufactured outside the United States. This means that businesses importing foreign-made cars or automobiles, such as the car dealerships, will be required to pay 25% of tax on every car that they purchase. All right, now, Jen, a few things here I just have to mention. The fact that he says that they are 25%. Remember that 25%, they're not going to take it in. The shareholders are waiting for their monies at the end of the year, and it's not going to be less. So we're looking at them making profits. Wherever those profits are going to come to, who's going to pay for it? You and I are going to pay for it. So that
Right.
25% is going to be brought to you. Another thing is when you charge that, when you're going to be saying that you need the cars to be manufactured in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
that is some of these cars, even those Pontiacs or all those manufactured here, like the Ford and other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
those cars still need spare parts from out of the country. And when you start
Yes.
charging imports, that's still going to go back into the car, and then it's going to turn around and it's going to still be charged onto you. So either way, the person
It's
who's
impacting Americans, right?
Americans, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the thing that was interesting was the Canada, leaving
Mm-hmm.
off Canada and Mexico. People didn't realize that. And I remember watching it today, and he had this big thing out, like, like in the classroom. And he
Mm-hmm.
was busy showing a one by one. I've never seen any president do that in my life. This is the first one that's being seen. But you know what? This is a year of firsts. Or the with this guy, everything is going to be a first. An interesting thing. This is another funny one. I even had to laugh about it, but um, well, not laugh about it. I even had to kind of try to make sense of it.
Okay.
All right, let me give you the premise. DHS decided they don't want any unions. They sent a letter to the union reps here in the Dallas area saying, hey, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? We don't want the union. The union does not help us. That's the only thing. They're anti union.
Mm-hmm.
And Elon Musk is anti union. However, Mr. Charlie was called on to the stand. He said, "I like Charlie. Come on here, Charlie." Yeah. So he was coming from the car manufacturing. So he was going to talk about the car manufacturing. I don't know whether he knew what this guy was going to say, but he went and said, "You know what? UAW supports Trump because he's bringing us jobs, and I got those 10 guys who are representative of the UAW with me over here." And I looked at his back. He didn't look like he was gonna. He didn't look like he was expecting that, and he just had a smirk on his face. That usual smirk, like, "Okay, I've been played here."
Oh
And
wow.
so this time now, he had to come up and say, "Oh, we support the unions, and we're gonna get them jobs."
Right.
He's been put in a catch-22. Be careful when you put somebody on the mic. If you don't, you have to pre-coach him.
Yeah, right?
He, boom, played him out. So UAW already says they support him. Now, if he tries to kick them out, then you have questions. But at the same time, these unions are friends. They are all connected. So
Mhm.
each union supports the other. It's a brotherhood. So when you start going against another union, like now the one in Texas, like for the DHS department, no, DHS is Department of Homeland Security. Now, if you go against those unions, you're still affecting the other unions. So careful what you wish for whenever you say Charlie
Mhm.
come on the stage.
Mhm.
Be prepped about what you want them to say. So that's
No.
my spiel for
Yeah,
the.
that is interesting.
So what do you think
Definitely.
about
So I found something interesting about tariffs. I know we talked about tariffs before, and like you said, with the date, this is like really recent. Obviously,
it? Yes.
we try not to mention dates, but we'll just say it's recent. But still, it's a lot of language, and those who may not be so versed, we wanted kind of break it down. And so I wanted to share something that had a breakdown what tariffs are about, and so that's what I will share here. So what are tariffs? Tariffs represents taxes levied on imported goods. We've talked about this before, typically resulting in increased prices for affected consumer products. So theoretically, well-structured tariffs can incentivize targeted industries to enhance their production domestically within the United States, manufacturing specific products onshore as opposed to relying on imports, and may yield both national security and economic benefits. So that's supposed to be the benefits. And then here's the rationale for the president's frame of mind, right? So President Trump's justification for implementing the tariffs are diverse and have evolved over time. This information came from the box that I'm sharing. Okay. So he considers tariffs as a mechanism for generating revenue, bolstering national security. He's always talking about that national security piece, and revitalizing the U.S. economy by increasing domestic manufacturing employment. So you talked about those labor union, and the jobs are coming and all that, right? So we'll put a pin in it there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's this idea of the jobs that are coming. You're still going to cut off the jobs over, the USAID that is being cut off. And then
Mhm.
once you take off the jobs with the USA, those are people's jobs. And then there are people in the foreign country that were told that you probably have a level. I think you have 2 weeks to move in. And
Mhm.
remember, USAID is the same that helps in assisting other countries in terms of when you have these issues of famine and the earthquakes. Like for example, Myanmar. Sending prayers to the people out there because a lot of people have lost over 1,000 lives have been lost because of that earthquake that happened there. Normally,
Yeah.
under normal circumstances, the United States will be there to help out, but this time they cannot because the USAID is not there. So now now geopolitics is playing in place here. China, um, other countries like Vietnam, and I think it's China and Russia
Mhm.
and I think Japan, but China, more so, we're looking at China and Russia have sent people to help out there. What does that tell you when you don't have the United States in there? That kind of tells you, okay, we're now starting to lean on these other people because they need help. The United States said, according to a pundit from the USA, the former USA employee. He said,
Mhm.
but within 24 hours, the United States usually is on the ground sending stuff like water purifiers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And all these things are helpful there. They stamp your presence there. But without that, and now you're saying you're still thinking about it, it's over 72 hours now. Nobody has gone out there. So
Mhm.
as we hear. And when Russia and China get in there and start doing the job and help it creates the mindset that, oh, the USA is not here to help us. Well, I
Mhm.
guess that might be us, working from within to sort out our problems, but then also, mm, yeah, something is
Kind of a
brewing.
bad taste, right?
Bad taste.
Okay. Okay. I received that. Before we move on to immigration, this was an interesting fact I found about the impact, right? Like, what is the impact to the American people? So, this also from the box, the current tariffs instituted by Trump's administration are projected to significantly affect the financial well-being of American households. A recent analysis conducted by the Yale Budget Lab indicated that the tariffs imposed on Canada, Mexico, and China alone could reduce the disposable income of the average U.S. household by as much as 2,000. That's huge. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I wanted to share that like you said, this is totally, impacting Americans, even though you think it's, focused on, yeah.
See, people don't look at it like that. Okay, so right now, my wife went to buy chicken,
Hmm.
box of chicken,
Hmm.
and the family pack used to be $20 with a coupon at a
Hmm.
local store here. Right now, it's $32, a jump of 12. We haven't eaten chicken like that maybe in about a year and a half. But just imagine the jump from $20 with a coupon to 32. So if you're looking at it that way, there's definitely a change that's going to be happening somewhere along the line. And today I was watching TV, and I know this lady uh, from MSNBC.
Hmm.
Um, so they were going into a store and having a cart with food from Mexico and food from Canada.
Hmm.
And this cart was actually full. They were just in the food section. This is just the food section. We have two carts, or the small baskets though. They were full of produce from
Right.
Mexico. This is just fruit. We haven't talked about milk because remember back when we were talking about the tariffs and what they'd affect and the things that would be not coming in.
Yes.
So we're just talking about the supermarket, your food. So your food budget is going to increase. Guess what happens when your food budget increases? You're going to spend less. First of all, I'm sorry. Let's start from this. If it's going to be expensive, you're going to look for alternatives. What are the alternatives that people will go to? You'll stop eating healthy. You will start going for the other preserves, the bad food. Guess what's going to happen to
Mhm.
you eating the bad food? It's going to make you sick. When you get sick, turns around, you're going to go back to that hospital and have these diseases, and then back affecting the healthcare system, which we
True.
have this guy who's already cutting off the they're trying to throw away do away with some of those programs, which in turn will try to
Mhm.
figure out what's going on because new diseases come each and every time. Somebody's going to make cheaper food. They'll say, oh, this is the best thing that's coming out since sliced bread. Okay, fine, this is the next thing, but we don't know what is involved in it. So it's a circle that's happening,
It is. It is.
and we just it feels like you're the hamster on a hamster wheel.
It is. I mean, and not to that's a whole nother conversation about the
No, come on, we
healthcare.
got time. We
Well,
got
no, I'm
time.
just I'm just
We
saying
got time.
the healthcare piece. They kind of don't want you to go the other way and be healthy and eat the fruits and vegetables, and they want you to get that 99-cent combo, and they're these combos are on sale so that you can't end up in the hospital with these illnesses that they can, pump you full of pills and, all the things, and then you have responses like the young guy. Is it Luigi? What's his name?
Oh,
That that attacked
the guy
the
who, yeah, the guy who shot the CEO, and that's also the mental health that it affects you on the mental health because some of the things that you go to and try to get looked into may not be available at that time because the system is being overrun by maybe getting diabetes and other high blood pressure and all this other stuff. And Denise here says on the chat, "Hey Denise, welcome to the show. The healing session, heal, empower, and release." That's by Denise, and she says correct. Now, to mention, not to mention how this affects our mental health and well-being because you're
Yeah.
going to sorrow. Oh, by the way, guess what? When food becomes expensive, we don't go to the restaurants to eat. We start going to eat at home
Hmm.
because that always works the same way. Food cheap, restaurants have people going in to eat. Now you're affecting the restaurant industry. Foods,
Right.
they cannot pay their rents because you're not going there, right? They'll try to do these other things, like maybe they'll try to do the Uber Eats and stuff like that. Well, Uber Eats, you can sponsor this show for us saying Uber Eats, but but all this will make some changes. But then, who will be able to afford to eat this stuff? Because it'll come at a price. Once the price goes higher, we're not going to be buying it. We're going to stay away. People have to be paid salaries. So it's a whole ball effect. People only look at one spectrum, but as an economist, and I'm not one, but having studied these things, everything is intertwined in something. It affects the human psyche from one way to the other.
All right. Yeah, Luigi Manangoni. And I'm probably saying that last name
Mangione,
wrong. Yeah, there you go.
Mangione, yeah, man, that guy is they get him in. They're trying to get the death penalty on him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Serious stuff. Very serious.
but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Right, right. So our
So,
next issue is immigration. This is a hot topic. This is a very hot topic. Um, First of all, we got to get something straight here, guys. Listen to one thing that you have to realize. In America, if you come in here and you're illegal, as long as you don't commit any crime, you're fine. The moment you commit crime, or even still, you don't commit crime and you want to get citizenship, you still have to go through due process to get your
mhm,
citizenship. And then either you will be accepted or denied and you go home. If you commit a crime, in order to be sent back home, you'll be taken to jail, you'll go through the due process, and you'll be sent home, right? So that's our premise of this. Mark that. Now, since returning to office, or even before he had come to office, Trump was always saying, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna get rid of people who are illegal over here. The Biden administration has been, and I don't understand why this guy must be living rent free in his head, man." Oh, even go way back to Obama. I mean,
yeah.
this guy living rent free in his head. But he keeps referring to them and says that they opened the border, they brought in
Hmm.
criminals, and he's out to remove them, and that's what he started off. And remember, when he
Right.
got in office, the first thing he did was um, write all those the executive orders, right? I think he's
Yes.
a lot more. So he has introduced major immigration policies right now. There's a border enforcement where he sent military troops to the U.S. Mexico border, increased arrests, reinstated remain Mexico policy, doesn't want asylum seekers. Actually, to be honest with you, it's dropped so much. Not too many people are coming in
Hmm.
the country. Next thing he did was mass deportations. Now, with this mass deportations also created some issues. Remember what I told in the beginning?
Hmm.
The you're illegal, whatever. So just the other day, they took them to Venezuela, and 400 people on three planes. So there was an order put in so that they don't put them in and take them over there. However, I think the second plane had already been out. The third one was on the runway before it took out. By the time they were telling him, they told a note. Actually, it was verbal. Don't. The judge said
Hmm.
verbal. Stop. Second one was already up in the air. By the time the third one was getting ready, they had a written document.
Oh
And
no.
So now that's a crisis that's going on between the Department of Justice and
Mhm.
president and his crew. Right now, of these 400 who are gathered, there was an issue. Apparently, some people there was an administrative paperwork failure somewhere that
Mhm.
a guy was found to have been taken to El Salvador.
I
Uh,
heard about that.
right, and guess what? Um, so here's the story. Allegedly, he worked at home. He came in 2012. He asked for asylum. He did everything in his work, and then one time some informant went and called him out. He worked at Home Depot, called him out and said he was a member of the MS-13. He was taken to jail, went through the due process, found out there's nothing wrong here. He
Mhm.
got his paperwork. The judge said, no, 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 this is not right. Got his paperwork, got everything was thrown out. There's a court case, and it was judge said no, and the state refused to appeal about it, and that was a done deal.
Mhm.
So, what does that mean? You're scot free. You went through a due process. You got everything. When they started rounding them up, so the case that they had way back when still remains with you, and that's why you always tell your kids, okay, guys, always tell your kids, stay out of the law. They might tell you, oh, this thing has been sponged or whatever is out. No, it's still there somewhere. It is hanging out there, and when they want it, they'll come up for it and they'll get it from you. So whatever you
Mhm.
do now, be very careful.
Mhm.
Word of advice. So that's what got him to the jail
Right.
and gone. Now
Okay.
is getting him back from there to the country, back into the country, which is a
Now,
still
is that a violation? Are they, within?
violation. As in the violation, nobody has done any has done any violation there.
Okay.
It's the country now. The U.S. Department of Justice, the ICE,
Okay, it's in their hands, right?
they're gonna have to answer for it.
Okay.
No more once
Oh,
someone.
they, like you said, have to answer for it, right? Because that was
Yeah.
not
So
correct.
they want to go get him, but they say they can't go get him.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things that if you get him, then you have to go through each and every one of them in that cell and figure out if they truly are. And guess what? Chances are you'll find that somebody over there, maybe 10, 15, 20 of them were just picked up because they just had tattoos, because they were
Okay.
targeting that. I'm not saying that's what my belief is, because once you accept that one, you're going to have to take everybody else because
I see.
why that person, right? Okay.
Right.
And that's the stalemate that they're at right now. So the lawyer is talking and trying to get that done. And the other legal immigration restrictions, refugee settlement has been stopped, and they've been denied
Mhm.
visas for certain groups,
Mhm.
including the pro-Palestinian demonstrators. Have you heard any story about this? Because I have a story.
Go ahead.
What do you know? Yeah. What have you heard any story about this? But anyway, I'll tell you the story. So, but for the refugee settlement, I think they
Mhm.
had to rescind that, and it had to be brought back in because the church, something there, the church went and put in some word. Now, there's this
Mhm.
one about the denied visas of the pro-Palestinian deported. There's this one guy, Khalil. He's the famous one,
Okay.
and the others around. So they're going to each and every school. If you're part of the protest and I think it's if you are caught and went to the police station and
Mhm.
and like say they registered you and said you had a felony because you were protesting at that particular time, that's it.
Mm.
So that's all they need. Gone.
Okay.
Revoke your status.
Wow.
So this student in Colombia, this was a NPR story that they have.
Mhm.
Um, she's done everything right, nothing wrong. PhD, 3 months to complete. She went to the protest and then she was picked up by the police and taken to the police station. Misdemeanor, nothing much, you know. So when she applied for her visa renewal, she never put that in
Mhm.
because it was, but she's pretty good. Guess
Oh.
how she got that? How she got that her visa was revoked? Text message. So she thought it was unreal.
Mm.
First day, so then she called the office, Columbia office, calls the Columbia University office, asks them, "Hey, can we get this situated done?" They're like, "Oh, okay, fine. We're gonna do this and get it done for you. Don't worry about it. Must be a mistake. We don't know yet." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the morning of, she's in her room with the student council for the student council for the visas, right? And they're going to deal with the visas and everything else. The student
Mm-hmm.
council. Then she has a roommate who is black, and they hear a knock on the door, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Who is it? Knock on the door? Who is it? Oh,
Must be
guess what?
ice.
So ice. Can we come in?" He said, "Why do you want to come in right now? Do you have the do you have the warrant to come into the house?" "No, but we had some questions for your roommate." Now she was like, wait, what do you mean roommate? "Oh, now they were using the coercive, like, hey, we gotta talk to you. Please open the door. Nothing's gonna happen. We just have a few questions for your roommate, blah blah blah." She was like, "Nah, you know what? This is what my roommate ain't here, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get you, and we're gonna need a warrant, and we're not opening the door, so you can go." So they stayed there. They tried to persuade. They left.
Hmm.
Second time, no, when they left, this girl told her best friend. Her best friend said, "Go to this other friend of ours and stay over there before we know what's going on." Meanwhile, this lady who is supposed to be helping her, she heard everything. She was being told, "The ICE is here. What do I do? What do I tell them?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know. Wait 1 minute. Let me go talk to my people." She doesn't want to help. She's not even helping at all, according.
Okay.
So it's like you're telling me not to. You're trying to trust me. She's telling you, "Trust me. I'm going to help you. It's going to solve it." But you're not solving the situation. Then he says, "How can I trust you? I don't even know you. I just know you from a chat." That's what she was told. So she took off and went to her friend's place. And then she realized, you know what? There's no need. I'm going to be put into jail and then be moved around, and I don't know what's going to happen. And she is claustrophobic. So guess what? She took a plane, ran off to Canada.
Oh wow.
Okay. So the part where she gets to the airport, she she's at the airport. She thinks she's late, so she happens to be running, like you're walking fast to get to the
Right.
airport. So the cameras spot her. All right, freeze that moment. Back on this other side, ICE come. They come
Mm-hmm.
now by force. Then they come with the campus authority. And when the roommate refused to open, they were already opening the locks with us. They have so they open the door. So they find her. She has a cat. The cat hysterical. She starts recording. She asks them, "Who are you?" They don't want to say who they are. "We gotta look for somebody. Where is your place?" She said, "I have a roommate on the other side, and I stay over here." "Okay, go stand on your side." Stood on her side. They started looking for her. They say, "Where's your roommate?" Say, "I don't know. I have a roommate. I don't know where she is."
Hmm.
Do you know anybody?" "No, I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just here. She left. I don't know where she is." Okay, they left. Can you imagine? She got picked with that picture that she was running. Some congresswoman or somebody said, "Look, see what happens to people when they're caught and they're in trouble. They're running away from the country." You know,
Hmm.
just walking to the plane.
Correct.
First
Right.
was running, and then she was in Canada. So she went to Canada. She's currently in Canada. But here's what you realize. Remember when Colombia now were forced, the grant was removed, the the money that was supposed to come from the government, and then they rescinded. The government rescinded it after having put pressure on them, and they
Mm-hmm.
said collaborate with the government and stuff like that. Now, this is where the problem comes in. They cannot help them. They were telling the lady to go look for lawyers. You don't know these lawyers. You're trying to tell me to go to lawyers who cannot help, who I don't know, and you don't even know them. They're not even part of the school.
Oh wow.
So all I'm saying this to say that there's a lot that's going to happen. and a few things need to change in how we look at. I have another story though. There's so many stories that we'll look at. This is one that's really so bad, and it had somebody crying. You work at a store, you live here all your life, people know you, and just because you went to a protest again, you got picked up, husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
The man go with an ankle monitor, and you're legally here with an ankle monitor to go back to your store to work. They owned a halal store. They sold breakfast items. I think breakfast items or sausages, something like that. Breakfast items. And the wife was put back in jail. But you know what this
Mm-hmm.
community did? They put those love signs and wrote stuff, good stuff, on the whole store. It filled the whole store. The day the wife was let go and came back home,
Mm-hmm.
community that morning went in and made a line round the store.
Oh, did
Men
they?
and bought stuff. Everyone was coming to support them, bought stuff just to show that they're part of the neighborhood. Because people are people. Yes, they're bad people on this earth, but you gotta give people, mankind a chance. And if you
Right.
find root them out, we
Yeah.
can't avoid it. It's bad
Right.
will always be there, but you cannot label everybody and say blanket everybody and say they're all bad. No, we can't.
True.
We can't do
Right.
that. So that's my spiel for my week.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it's been bothering me, but I'm hoping that things will be changed. And also this thing about birthright citizenship is supposed to change.
Yeah.
Project 2025 is happening, and people are just seeing it there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know one thing, we'll talk about it in the end. I wanted to talk about the historical facts about about tariffs, President tariffs, but um, I'll say one thing that's
Okay.
happening right now. Even though we're going through all this, and guys, this is maybe a silver lining that's out there. Maybe happen, may not. Um, this is my opinion, not my opinion, by the way, because my opinion is not um, an opinion based on my employer or anybody else, but my opinion is mine and solely mine, and so is ours, Jen. So, with that being said, right now, when we had some three elections, obscure things, but then two were in Florida and then one was in Wisconsin. Really obscure, but the one in Wisconsin, we noticed something was brewed there because there was a liberal and a conservative candidate. Liberal was being supported by Democrats, conservative was being supported by the Republicans, and the liberals won. That was a statement because of the kind of environment that's there. Now, for the Florida one, this is what you're looking at. And this is where politicians, you have to always look at politicians when they go play these roles. So the Democrats knew they were losing. But the point was how many people are going to come up to bring the margin down.
Right.
So I think when two of them who were there, the margins when Trump won were at 37. Right now they dwindled down to around 20, 21%.
Hmm.
That is significant. So that tells
True.
you that people are disgruntled. And if they're going to be disgruntled like this, come the midterms, something is going to happen. So in 2026, next year, when you're going to the midterms, these are things you watch. So as they look at, they don't look at, okay, you won, you're going to lose. Yes, you're going to lose, but by how much are you going to lose? Now that tells you that, is it going to turn into a swing state, is it going to turn into a battleground, or
Right.
is it going to be outright winning? And that's how they start putting their resources in. They say, okay, we have a chance here. If people were
Yeah.
37%, 37 points, and now he won by 21 points, that means we're gaining, we're going to go flip this place. That's how politicians work. So that's my spiel for the day. I think I spoke a lot today with regard to that.
Yeah, we put you on the
Yeah,
program a lot.
yeah. Remember, like I said, I like polit. I like policies. I hate politics, but I just stick around to see how it goes.
No, it's interesting. Like it's so much happening. I feel like we just have to have these conversations because it's really impacting American families, taxpayers. people who got student loans, all of us, whether you have kids or not, whether one person household, two person, it's really impacting everybody. So, yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Let me now. Now that I've done that, okay, I removed it all. Okay, now I can go back and talk about some historical facts about the tariffs as we wind down. Historical facts about U.S. presidents and their tariffs. It is there. It, time immemorial. Even George Washington signed the Tariff Act in 1789, where it was passed in Congress and was aimed to generate revenue and protect domestic manufacturing. And I think that he initially opposed the tariffs but changed his mind after the World War. And let's see who else got it. Let's go to the 20th century. Theodore Roosevelt supported protective tariffs, believing that they contributed to America's industrial growth, however, avoided radical changes to maintain party unity. Woodrow Wilson also reduced tariff rates with the Underwood Tariff of 1913, shifting reliance on revenue from tariffs to income tax instead. Now we get to Ronald Reagan.
Hmm.
Reagan is the one who imposed 100% tariffs on Japanese imports in 1987 during trade disputes and over automobiles. I think that's about the time when people now started staying away from the Japanese models. And then George W. Bush also enacted steel tariffs in 2002, but lifted them in 2003 after facing international retaliation.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm. That's kind of nice, Jen. Now that you put it over here, that we have it here, I think it's something that we're going to watch if it's going to repeat itself again.
Mhm.
So now the other one was the recent Donald Trump implemented aggressive tariffs on during his presidency, targeting Chinese goods as well as industries like steel and aluminum. I was about to say aluminium. When we so even Joe Biden increased tariffs on Chinese imports, such as solar cells and electric vehicle batteries. So in 2024, he emphasized on the importance of protecting the domestic industry. Now,
Mhm.
okay, let's get something straight. If you're a Republican or Democrat, no, I'm just going to be truthful. This thing about NAFTA no, is it NAFTA between Canada and Mexico, it was there before Obama. When Trump got in the first time, he went and renegotiated it and said that was the best thing that ever happened.
Mhm.
It stayed through Biden. It never changed. And guess what? He's come back and is complaining about it, saying that it's Biden's fault and it's Obama's fault. Dude, you went and restructured it around your time and said it was the best thing. Now you're coming back again and telling us that these are the people who did it again. Come on now. So that's where I end my politics rant and everything else for the day. Are we expecting some good stuff this coming month?
Yes, we have some good guests in the lineup. One, I guess that'll be next week. Another content creator that will share some best practices and some tips and ideas that we can implement to level up.
Yeah,
All
at
right.
least you will not hear my rants anymore about this.
But my ears perked up when you were talking about Woodrow.
Mhm.
Um, who's he's shifting from tariffs to income tax because there's discussion
Hmm.
about Trump wanting to get rid of income taxes. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
anything can happen. Somebody in my family says it's about time they get that purple robe and start putting it on.
Purple
If
robe.
you know, better get that purple robe. If you know, you know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
You know what it is, Jen?
send out
You don't know what that purple robe is?
what, like the king?
No, the actually it's maroon. It's the one for Handmaid's Tale.
Oh my god. Okay, gotcha. Look, I'm like, what kind of
Ah,
robe you talking
yeah,
about?
we're almost
Look.
there. Almost there. Hopefully, you don't have to get that there. You have to run to Canada. I don't know why they were not running to Mexico. They're always running to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was a big deal instead of running to Mexico. They were looking all the way to run to Canada. But anyway,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that was another thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, blue bonnets are coming to Texas. This is the month of blue bonnets. You know that's the start. That's the flower for Texas. The blue bonnet flower.
Okay.
Um, what's your flower in St. Louis?
Is it not? I'm not sure. You said the flower for the
You know, St. Louis. The state
Missouri
flower.
is the state. Yeah.
No, the state flower of Missouri. What?
Missouri.
Which one?
Hawthorn.
What? It's a hawthorn.
Hawthorn blossom.
Oh, hawthorn blossom. Okay, cool. Ours is
Yeah.
the bonnet. It only comes. By the way, it only comes out once in April. So between now and the end of the month, yeah, people are going to be out there looking for it and taking pictures. We missed ours last year, but every year we kind of take pictures of the blue bonnet. They're really cute.
And it's a part of the rose family, apparently, but they have
Oh,
those little things on the inside that kind of blow and
ah,
get all over everything.
s-
So,
so
yeah.
actually, yeah, the kids are getting older, so they don't want to do it, but we kind of do it because it's one of the like a tradition thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it'll be one of those things that we try to get a nice patch before people step on it and do all that, and then take some cute pictures in those flowery dresses.
Very, very nice.
You know what, Jen? People even take their dogs and have them lie down and take pictures of them on the blue bonnets.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, they do that. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
So if you see people in Texas stopping by the roadside, just check when you pass them. You'll probably see a blue bonnets, a patch of blue bonnets, and people be just rushing there, taking pictures and driving off.
That's cool. All right. Anything else? What else you got?
Yeah, we're doing great this week. I'm happy for everything, and there's nothing much going on. I missed the podcast movement, but that's another story altogether. I just had
Okay.
going on, but looking forward to
Oh,
this
was that
month.
coming up?
It's going on today, as in right now.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Were you supposed to go?
Yes, I was supposed to go, but
Oh, okay.
I actually got a sponsorship. Let me just say it now since it's already over. I got a sponsorship to go. It works. You can get sponsorships to go,
Mhm.
but it was for the entry and also the ticket, which would have called me some stuff. But I had to rescind. I called them. I told them, hey, you know what? Just I cannot go at this time. Maybe next year I'll look into it and go and see.
Okay, you have to share that information so
I
next
was,
time I have my
um, I was going to tell you
info.
something about Rabbit. Rabbit, did you check out Rabbit.com? It's another chat GPT. It's a new chat GPT. I just registered.
Oh, okay.
I want to play around with it.
Is
Maybe
it just info or graphics too, or
I don't know. They were talking about it in the podcasting morning chat. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, that's the one. So they were talking about it this morning.
okay,
Let
got
me,
it.
let me put a shameless plug. Every day in the morning, 6 to 7 Central Standard Time. Central Standard Time. So if you're in Eastern Time, you figure that out. Central Standard Time, 6 to 7. Podcasting morning chat is out there. So what happens is they have topics. So I was there this morning and they were talking about rabbits. So that's it. Plug for them.
Okay. Thank you for sharing about that. Shout out to them. All right. Okay. All right. So, but you have some other conferences coming up, so you'll share more on that later.
No, I don't think I have it. The next one we're waiting on is Afros and Audio.
Well, you will. I won't.
I don't know about that. Let's pray. You
Look.
gonna make it. You gonna make it, my sister. My sister.
No.
Oh, you gonna make it. We're gonna put some dollars between now and then. Hey, income taxes here. We don't know what's going on. Hey, you might
Look.
landfall somewhere. You never know. It happens.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All right.
Things happen. You think it's not happening, but things happen between now and then. So hey, be on the lookout.
Gotcha. All right, so we will put a pin in that, and we wrap it up. Okay, anything else to share?
Last thing. Um, the next time we're having a conversation, I think we're going to sit down and have this conversation. It's been a long time waiting. We're going to discuss about evergreen or seasonal. I think this is a big
Mm,
topic that we need to talk about. Just you and I.
okay.
We have different opinions about it. I think it's about time we hashed it out. Take 10, take the first shot.
Oh no! Look, I have my research together. All right, I'll be ready.
All right, Jen.
All right, so all
Hang out,
right. Well,
hang out
we
always.
for sure, and we hope that today's conversations have inspired and enlightened you. If you found today's episode meaningful, please consider sharing it. We appreciate that. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. Please stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. So, again, thanks again, guys, for tuning in to the content. Stay tuned and take care.
Bye, Wasabazaji.